What is going on, viewers of YouTube? Sunspot here, and I am back with you guys my review of the Transformers Titans Return Voyager class ASTROTRAIN DARKMOON collectible figure. As per usual, I do want to highlight the packaging. Really nothing special. We do have some really nice artwork of his headmaster feature. Obviously, this is Darkmoon. I really like the red eyes. I think that's cool, and I like how they put a lot of scuffing effects on this, which is kind of cool. Here, let me zoom in. So I think that's cool looking. It does say Titans Return, Darkmoon, and ASTROTRAIN, Voyager class figure, obviously, and yes, he is a Decepticon, the carrier of Decepticons. The transparent cover where you would see him with his accessories, the Generations logo, yes, that's still a thing in this wave, does say Transformers, and yes, he is a triple changer, staying true to the cartoon Hasbro. Sides of the box are nothing too special. It just continues that artwork. You obviously see more of him. Does say Titans Return, and the other side is just black with the Generations logo. The back of the box shows all of his alt modes. Yes, he still turns into the train, obviously a very futuristic train, not a fan. And of course his famous shuttle mode, again, not a fan, but the robot mode clearly looks beautiful. And there's a biography of the character. If you like to pause and read that now, you can. As for the figure himself, this guy is actually pretty cool. I mainly wanted him for his robot mode, and why wouldn't you? He looks pretty much like G1. I'm going to show a comparison with the original toy later in the video, both the white and black and the classic obviously the gray and the purple, but that'll be later on in the video. But I'm really loving the look of this figure, very G1-esque. Posability is good, and the headmaster feature is just as good as ever. So let's take a closer look. As for the head sculpt, who else does this look like besides ASTROTRAIN? I absolutely love what they did with this. Yes, this is a headmaster, and no, ASTROTRAIN was never headmaster, but this is the Titans Return adaptation of Transformers, so everyone is a headmaster now. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But I'm glad that they're staying truthful to the original toy and to the cartoon. This is definitely more cartoon accurate, while the body's a bit more, just showing you a 360 of the toy, but yeah, the head is definitely more accurate to the cartoon. I'm not talking about paint-wise, I'm talking about sculpt-wise. You could just tell the grin is a bit, I don't know, serious, just like he was in the cartoon, because he stayed very neutral in the cartoon. He didn't talk much. He was a transportation vehicle, so this is just that. He's pretty neutral, and I do love this yellow rays here on his forehead. That's kind of cool looking, and yeah, the headmaster's back there. The legs are loose on him, but I'll get that later. Do love these stacks. They look so cool. Reminds me of the toy a lot, the original toy. And if you were to look at the rest of the figure, just as pretty. Not a lot of paint going on, I'm not gonna lie. 90% of the sky is just the standard gray. They did put a lot of detail. If you look around, especially in like the forearm, they molded in a lot of these mechanical wirings and such, and they do have a bit of, you know, red and purple there near the waist, which looks cool. And this is actually a button that you use here. Actually, I could just show that now, even though it's part of the transformation. What you do is you just press these down. So technically, you can have him in that look too. I prefer him with the smokestacks up, and they're not smokestacks. I just call them that. What you do is just pull this down, and there you go. So nothing too special there. Obviously, the little guns on his forearms are there. Very glossy black, no other, you know, paint decals there, but again, there's just a lot of detail on all these creases and stuff. I was very surprised, and the hands are just a solid purple. Again, good detail, you know. I'm glad Hasbro's actually doing something with their figures finally, you know. I do still miss the Generations line, of course, and his legs, they're the train, or well, I guess his feet are kind of like the tips of the shuttle. One feature I will show here with the feet, if you do not prefer these feet, and I do prefer these, what you could do, switch it around, close this panel, and there you go. So just do the same. So if you want, you can have him like this. This is like the front of the train, so I think it looks a little bit too, I guess, Michael Bay-ish when I put it like that. I kind of like it with like the feet pointed forward like this. Let me put it back. So I think that looks a lot cooler. And yeah, they put a lot of detail here. A lot of the train pieces and stuff. Zoom out a bit. Nothing too much going on in the back. He does have a backpack, but the original toy had a backpack, and you can actually like maneuver these around any way you want. So yeah, he does have a little bit of backpack. I mean, it doesn't like hinder his balance at all. He stands very, very well. I mean, I've had no issues lately. So I think this is definitely G1 accurate. I really love what they did with this. I get how they have to put all those mechanical wirings in. That kind of removes the retro feel, but from a distance you can't really tell. It's only if you look pretty close. As for articulation, this guy has a decent amount. I do have a problem with his waist area. That's due to transformation, but you should expect that. Let us start here with the head. I'm actually going to zoom in on this because it's kind of important. So the head with these stacks up can look that much to the right, that much to the left, up barely anything. You really can't do much, and down like that. So yeah, it's not that much, but if you press these down, the head can rotate fully. Just gotta articulate these legs a bit, and you know, it could wobble, but it's honestly nothing too much, and I'm just gonna put it back. I think it looks cooler like that. As far as the arms go, you do have to push these back, and then the shoulders can rotate fully. They can go out and in, you know, forward, back, whatever. He does have the bicep rotation and a more than a 90-degree angle at the elbow. His wrists, this is part of the transformation. They can move like that. They kind of peg in. So obviously no waist articulation, common with Transformers. Here's where I get a little bit problem with the waist. So the legs can go forward that much. It's, you know, it's a good amount. Back that much. It's kind of hindered by this, so you kind of have to like lift this up to get that full motion, and it can split. But again, it actually splits, so you do have to hold it down as you do the splits. As far as the thigh rotation goes, it's full 360 and a straight 90-degree angle at the knee there, and the feet can go forward and back. Unfortunately, no ankle pivot. That sucks, but you know, you shouldn't really expect that with Transformers. As for size, ASTROTRAIN stands at about 8 inches tall. If you don't believe me for whatever reason, I don't judge you. I will put my trusty measuring tape here, and yes, he stands at just about 8 inches. And if that wasn't enough for you, I do have him here next to Leader Class Power Master Optimus Prime. I have an issue with this. This should just be a Voyager. This should not cost $40 or $50. They are basically the same height. Come on, Hasbro, work with me here. I remember 10 years ago in the Armada, or the Unicron trilogy era, there was freaking leader classes like freaking way higher, at least this high. They were gigantic, and now this is what we've come to. I mean, it's a good scale-wise, but I'm not working with it here. Do have him next to the deluxe class Chrome Dome. Pretty good height. He stands about half his size, so good scale. Also have him here next to a standard Marvel Legends figure. Do have him next to Ghost Rider, just for standard size comparison. But that isn't it. Here he is next to his G1 counterparts. These guys look so cool together, especially these two, because they look exactly the same. This is exactly why I love the color scheme on the Voyager class version. It's just, it's so toy-like, it's brilliant. I just wish he had those fins on his chest like here, and he got mistransformed when I was carrying him over here. There we go. So, yeah, mine's a little, the legs are a little loose because I've had him for, well, he's like 20, 30 years old, so, oh god, he's falling apart. And here he is next to my alpaca. Now, before I head into the transformation, I do want to show off his main feature, which is the The headmaster, you just gotta plop it out of there. So yeah, just a better look at the head. No light piping, but that's okay. It's a headmaster. All you do, lift that up, pull his arms out, and there you go. Not a lot of detail. I mean, there is a lot of detail. It's just not painted very well. But if you look closely, they molded in a lot of creases and all that different circuitry and stuff, and that screw is really bothering me right there. That is really bothering me. But, you know, what else can you expect? So, you know, he has these little guns on his forearms there, and yeah, he has a head on his back, but that's okay. I wonder, nah, I thought I could rotate. It can't. That's okay. I don't know what difference it would make, but yeah, that is Darkmoon for you. Well, as for accessories, really doesn't come with much. Let us start with his collector card. I always love these. I think these are better than the Combiner Wars collector cards, as T-Man978 says, and I agree with him. They're better quality. I do like the shape. They're classier. Does say ASTROTRAIN? Yes, the Hasbro logo, whatever. And there he is, very stylized, kind of IDW style. Oh, so now you have lead piping, sir. I see how it is. Damn you. Titan's Return, and here are his tech specs. Pretty strong, you know. I mean, with Darkmoon, he really just kind of, I don't know what Darkmoon can do to him. Like how could connecting a headmaster improve your freaking weaponry that well? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's a freaking transformer. And he also does have a pretty standard weapon. You can actually put the headmaster in here, which I'll highlight later in the video in vehicle mode. So yeah, not much detail. I mean, paint is just a solid purple. Again, they put a lot of detail into these, just not a lot of paint. Same with this one here, standard rifle. So I actually have a problem with him even holding these. They're really like flimsy in his hand. So yeah, let me actually show you what I mean by that. So all you do, put it in this hand. This hand actually holds this one pretty well, but if I'm not mistaken, it's this hand that always gives me, yeah, this hand always gives me trouble. Gosh, it's just, you could turn it, like this one is stiff, you know, but this one just turns so freaking easily. So, you know, you can put them in some cool poses. Let me just do one on the spot here really quick. I'm not trying right now. I'm just trying to, you know, do something. But wish he had some more bicep rotation there so you could turn that a little bit straighter. But yeah, you get the point. It looks very cool on him, besides the loose joints. And yeah, and what else you could do actually, and this makes no sense, if you transform the headmaster here, you can sit inside. But that means he has no head. So that's clearly saved for the transformation. As for the transformation, remove his weapons. Obviously, let's put those to the side, and let me zoom in here. What you can do first, unpeg these hands. Just slide them in there. This one is always falling out. Remove the head. Push these stacks down. You can go ahead and rotate his legs as such. Fold in the feet so that they're pointed forward. What you can do is lift up these panels already. Just don't peg them in yet. And unpeg this jetpack here. Just rotate it backward and just fold this together. And then right here, there's a hole and a peg right there. So you just plug those in. And the same right here, hole, peg right here. So you just gotta force those into place. And this thing loves to split apart, I will say. This thing is just in love with splitting apart. I'm just trying to get more comfortable here because this is uncomfortable. Keep the hands straight, put it parallel to the body. Rotate this entire jetpack around and just rest it in place. What you can do now is fold these down. Alright, there's a peg right here, hole right here, and all you do, you gotta lift this down a bit. Make sure this little gun piece right here is under this panel. And there we go. And what you can do, this is your choice, but I like to do that to give it a bit more of a shuttle feel. And there he is in his space shuttle mode. I'm not impressed. I will say that. I'm really not impressed with this. It does have very good detail. I do really love the color scheme. It is absolutely beautiful, very toy accurate. But there's just something about it. It's not retro enough for me. It's too futuristic, which I'm just really not a fan of. And this keeps separating. Ugh. Come on, bro. You really just gotta force it in place, but it'll always just come apart regardless. And you can see there's like a cockpit right there, windows and such, showing you guys some more detail. Obviously this is supposed to be a very huge, I think this should have been freaking leader class, and there's some guns on the side there, but you look at the bottom, look, he's basically transformed. Let's be honest here, he's basically transformed. And this is actually a transparent purple. You can open this up, take your headmaster here, kind of extend his arms, put him in a seat position, and he can sit in there. So that's kind of cool. And I do have this up here. You can actually fold this in the stand, put it back up. And as far as how you can put his weaponry on him, it's completely up to you. Choices are endless. I don't really like putting weapons on the alt modes. If I do keep it in alt mode, I just like to keep it pretty plain. But hole right here, peg right here, you can put it in there. It's very loose. You can't really, you kind of have to put it through that way. So, and same with this. I don't think it looks good at all. Yeah. So they're really not meant for it, but you can put them here on the side as well. There's a hole right here. And the same here. So then there's that, and then what you can do, take them out and put them in the chair. So, it's whatever. It's okay. I'm not really a fan of it. It's cool. It's nice to know that it's there, but it's completely up to you. But let's transform this guy into his train mode. Remove your headmaster. Remove his weapons. Now what you can do is unpeg his arms here. Be very careful. And spread them out as such. Unpeg this backpack. Lift it up. Rotate it. Let me actually just zoom out here. Alright. Now unpeg these. Unpeg these. And now break apart his pelvis. Alright, what do I do from here? Alright, so now this part just goes into here, so you just plug it in. My seat is very uncomfortable, that's why I'm shaking. What you do now, lift this panel up, rotate it like I showed you earlier. My thighs hurt because I'm on a stool and they're digging into my leg. Peg these in. They'll just, you'll feel them. They'll click into place. And same with this. It'll just click into place. Or at least just peg into place. So, and you can put these up. And that's really about it. There he is. Very simple. Took me under a minute. I probably could have done it faster, honestly, if it wasn't for my stool making me so ridiculously uncomfortable. Wait, I missed a step. Fold this back. There we go. Now he's completely done. Really not a fan of this at all. It's too skinny, I think. Well, it's not the fact that it's too skinny. It's the fact that it's skinny, 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 then gigantic, then skinny, skinny, skinny. I wish this pegged in a bit further and this kind of these little side panels here would have folded in or something and done something with that, because it's really just, it's kind of sticky now, but you can see they molded in some train tracks there. Oh, I'm an idiot. There. On all the sides, actually. Okay, I'm done. So, yeah. train tracks, unfortunately, they're not real. They're just molded on, which sucks. You know, he has these wheels right here, and he rolls okay, you know, for what he can. It's nothing really too impressive. Again, the gun's here. There's like a cockpit and stuff in there. So, and what you can do, push this down, open this, and just as usual, put your headmaster inside. Close it up. There you go. For guns, where can you put the guns actually? They can't really fit too well in here. I mean, it kind of slides, which is somewhat annoying. It stays in there, I guess. So, let's see for this one. Nah. There we go. So, that's really the best you can do. This actually looks a little bit better if you're going for the futuristic battle train mode, I guess. It kind of just removes the fact that there's this gigantic freaking bosom in the middle of this guy, so kind of hides fact. And if you want to bring him back to transformation mode, or bot mode, sorry, remove your headmaster, unpeg this, unpeg that, put these back in, fold them up, I mean. Unpeg the arms from the legs, put these panels down, same with the back. I'm just soaring through this because this is a ridiculously simple transformation. Put the pelvis together, rotate the legs forward. Now if you want, you can keep it like this, the feet, but I like to keep, I guess, stay a bit more traditional. Pull the arms down, move the hands. My back is legit killing me right now. And just push these back, so you kind of just have to coordinate it in. And if you would like, put your headmaster back, just force him into place, and push this down, and there you go. Back to robot mode. He is very simple. Again, I could have done this even faster if it wasn't for my chair, and I'll fix that for the next review. And here he is next to his. Let me get him in bot mode. Yay. They're best friends. And no, he cannot hold his weapons. Why would you want him to do that? I really want to check out maybe some third-party repro labels, because I would really love, since this is so close to the toy, I'd want this sticker somewhere on him. I know it wouldn't look good on his leg, but, you know. So I really wouldn't have to even go for repro labels. I can just buy that online somewhere. Regardless, that is his transformation. So overall, if you are a Transformers fan, a Transformers G1 fan even, you would like this figure. It will remind you of the toys you played with as a kid. Again, you guys know this. I was not born in the 80s. I was born in the late of the 90s. So even though I wasn't there for G1, I still had older brothers, and I did grow up with this guy, with all their G1 toys. This is all I knew. So I'll always like him more. You know, he's AstroTrain to me. He's fun. So, actually, I just noticed, why is this yellow? Why is this red? I don't like that. Regardless, I highly recommend you pick up this figure. It is just a lot of fun and will look great in your collection. And with that said, people, if you did enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, comment, check out my site at SunSpotReviewz.com, and I will see you guys in my next video.